Hello and welcome to another installment of Ladies Week. Today we are running The Day of the Witch. I have playing with me Yvonne, Emily, Rachel, and Katie. They are playing four adventurers who have started out on a journey together through a perilous region where the villagers tend to worship male deities and don't look terribly kindly on women. Let's see what trouble they can get into. The camera starts, and it's black. It pans to the right, and you see the glow of embers, a fire being started. The tongue of the flame is small at first, and then it glows, brighter and brighter, and illuminates four figures sitting around the fire. Who are they? Katie.
Sorry, I had a second getting unmuted there. One of them is a young half-elven woman. She has long black hair straight and braided back out of her face. She has one very bright, clear blue eye, and the other eye is completely black, sclera and all, with a sort of smoky blue and white little pinpricks and kind of almost a gassy-looking mess in there. She sits playing a viola, just a slow, kind of almost somber tune in her black armor and black traveling clothes.
The music floats gently on the breeze. Sitting to her left, Rachel. Who is your character?
So, my character is Jessa Wright. She is a spellcaster, a sorceress, and you can tell this because she is fiddling with her components pouch, taking everything out, organizing it, making sure she has everything she needs, putting it carefully back in. She is fairly tall. She has a crossbow strapped to the back of her pack. She has cropped dark hair, and as she puts her component pouch away, she takes a stick from the fire and pokes it a bit, stirring the embers.
Sitting directly across from the music, Yvonne.
Well, Mira is not looking directly at the fire. She's more or less looking out away from the fire because she's able to see in the dark, and she's listening to the music, enjoying the company, but she's always on, keeping an eye out for things. She doesn't really trust, not necessarily those around her, but those in the distance that could be. She is a rogue, but she's a rogue with a little bit of a extra added to her. And yeah, that's Mira.
And last but not least, Emily.
Saris is a little older than the rest of them, but not very old. She's just reaching into middle age, but that's kind of hard to tell with a half-elf. But you can slightly tell if you look carefully. She has very dark, bluish-black hair that is a few single braids and then all pulled back. And she has sort of a leather armor that's kind of intricately carved with a knife. And she's just sitting there kind of carving into her quarterstaff, made of a interesting driftwood color. It's a bit to decipher, but she is a druid, and she is just listening around her and kind of gazing up to the moon on occasion and the stars to see how they move.
You feel the pull of the moon, and you know that in another few days you should be near the sea. You can feel it in your bones. The music fades, the last note quavering gently in the air. And then hush. Slight rustles. A few bird calls, easily recognizable as owls or evening birds. Night falls. Darkness. Silence. It's a comfortable silence. Familiar for those of you who enjoy the outdoors. But even for the rogue who might be a bit more used to city life, there's something peaceful here. Saris, gray dawn finds you on watch. And you watch, as you look at the sky, you can see the stars beginning to fade. You can almost count them as they disappear, name them. A few birds begin to sing cheery good morning songs as rays of sunshine start to break through the clouds. The rest of you are awakened by the sun, by the warmth, and you begin your trek onwards. Is there any conversation as you go?
You said at least one of us knew that the place we'd be passing through was unkind, or everyone knew?
You are all well enough acquainted with the area to know that the deities worshipped here are male and that the societies are very patriarchal and don't view women, specifically women alone, in the best light.
Saris, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. You go right on.
Saris doesn't really say anything unless someone wants to talk to her. She just sort of puts her shield on her head to block out the sunlight, and she lights up her pipe and starts smoking as they go along.
Delitha is just kind of making idle chatter. Things like, well, you know, it's best if we don't interact with many people, I think, knowing what we're walking into here. Maybe even staying on the outside of town unless anybody needs anything. Do we need to go directly into town?
Well, I don't necessarily feel a need to go directly into town, but that's always a nice option. I mean, you know, they have so many nice shiny things, and I'd love to, you know, see what they have. Maybe walk away with a few things here or there.
Well, that's fair enough. We can at least go in long enough to take a look around, and if it seems overly unfriendly, then that will be our cue to leave.
If it is in the path, we will go like the pair, on the same trail as it always does, along with its many ancestors.
Delitha nods at that.
For you move quick, the trees gradually begin to thin out as the sun approaches its zenith in the sky. You've begun to sweat. Perhaps your leather armor squeaks a little bit with the uncomfortableness of the dampness and the heat of the day. And suddenly, the trees are gone, and you see before you fields, the outskirts of a town. These are newly plowed. You would suspect freshly planted. No telling what's in them. But there seems to be a surprising lack of workers. As you walk along the road, there are no oxen. There are no horses. There are no people. It's strangely empty, except for a stray chicken here and there, clucking indignantly as it searches for grasshoppers.
Saris pets the chicken and touches the plants as she goes by.
The chicken is very soft. You continue walking, your feet kicking up a little dust on this dirt road that you're now on. You're no longer on a path, even. It's very clearly a road. And as you pass a small building, a voice calls out, "Aye, what's it to you?"
Can we see anyone?
Yes. If you look around, sitting in the shadow of a building is a small man, older. He has graying hair and a bit of a straggly beard. It's still got a fair bit of darkness to it, but definitely salt and pepper. And he kind of sits up as he sees the four of you. "What are you lot doing here?"
Belitha kind of nods and smiles warmly and says, "Just passing through, good sir," and just tries to continue on the way.
"Oh, aye, aye. Keep passing, keep passing. You don't want to go in the village now."
This gives her pause. "Oh, is there trouble afoot?" And she kind of tries to laugh it off, like obviously he's joking about something.
"Oh, aye, aye. Troubles afoot for poor Trish. Ah, God's bless her. Poor Trish. Aye, you don't want to go in the village now. Best keep on going."
Belitha kind of glances around her friends.
Well, who exactly is Trish?
"Oh, Trish, well, she's a bit of an odd duck, you say. Never married. Likes to live on the edge of town, gathers herbs, bit of a healer, but it's a bad day for poor Trish. See, things been going off here in the village, and they pegged her for a witch. She's a friend of mine, I suppose, but they're going to burn her at the stake. Poor Trish. Oh, aye, you don't want to go in the village today. It's a bad day for women. It's a bad day for Trish."
I think I want to go in the village now.
Saris spits on the ground.
Jessa looks to the man and she says, "If she's your friend, don't you know that she's not a witch?"
"Oh, I know. There's no way Trish could be a witch. No. Them goings on. Nah. It's never her doing. But what's my word? They've decided it's a witch that's causing all the trouble. And so a witch they'll burn."
What has been happening here that they would require a scapegoat?
Well, it started with the goats. A few goats gone missing here and there. The odd chicken. We saw more wolves about. And then there was the crops. It's a late plant out there. It should have been planted full 3 weeks ago. But those first set of seeds, not but grew.
Mm-hmm. Saris glances at the man one more time and then starts moving into town.
Can I insight check him, by the way?
Sure.
5.
He seems like an old guy sitting at the edge of town telling you not to go in.
Yep. Taking that at face value. When Velaitha sees Saris continuing on in directly, she kind of nods at the man and says, you know, you might consider vouching for her if she's your friend. And then just turns and begins to follow Saris.
Roll persuasion.
This I'm better at. Not much, though. 10. This is going great.
Well, even with a 10, he kind of nods his head and scuffs his foot in the dirt after he stands up. I will. Maybe you're right.
You can come with us if you'd like, she calls over her shoulder.
I might hang back a bit. You'll understand. And you see him begin walking the same general direction as you, but he kind of splits off to the left, whereas the road takes you to the right. He's clearly going a back way, but same general direction. As you enter into the town, you are aware of this din. It's a murmur at first, but the closer you grow, the louder it gets. Voices, dozens of them, some angry, most angry, shouting, yelling, screaming, a child crying, chaos. And as you walk into what can only be the main square, you see the pile of wood built up, the stake 9 feet high, the woman tied to it, and the mob around her. And they're all shouting, "Burn the witch! Save the town! It's the only way!" "Yeah, I saw what she did. I saw it with my own eyes. She cursed us, she did." They're unhappy. 4 of them have torches. And there's one man in the center, standing with his arms crossed, not yelling, just listening. And they seem to be addressing their shouts to him.
Does he look like he's being convinced by their shouts, or he's still unsure at this point?
He's nodding his head. You can see by his clothes, he's pretty finely dressed. He's got a short cropped, kind of reddish beard. His hair is brown, but the beard glints red in the sun. And he's nodding his head.
So obviously he's probably on their side as well. He just hasn't taken that step over the line yet. Well, I think I'm going to start making my way through the crowd and start listening to what they're saying, and maybe whispering in a few ears to try to convince them otherwise. But I won't be too far off.
What about the rest of you?
And do I see anyone who looks horrified at what's going on, or at least not believing, dissenters essentially, who might currently be quiet but
Roll perception.
don't look like...
All of you can roll perception if you would like. Your DC is 15.
22.
Yeah, I rolled a 20. Not natural.
I got a 2.
19.
For those of you north of at least 8, You can see there are maybe one or two people kind of towards the far end of the crowd. Looks like a young woman, maybe in her late teens, who she looks up and then she looks down and shakes her head, and she has her arms crossed. You can see her thumb rubbing across her arm. She's clearly uncomfortable. It's a reassuring kind of gesture. You see an older woman holding one hand on a walking stick. There's two curly-headed children playing around her ankles. And she looks down at them with a toothless grin. And then when she looks up again, her smile fades and she just... That's all you see. The rest of you don't even see that. You see only the angry faces and the bloodlust of the mob.
Is the woman already at the stake yet, or?
She is at the stake. She is tied to it already. As far as you can tell, it looks like their minds are made up.
Is she gagged, or what is she doing?
No, she's standing there, head down. She has this auburn hair, and it just kind of falls over her face. You can't make out any of her features. You would guess, just from what little you can see of her neck and shoulders, it doesn't seem to be terribly weathered. She's got to be fairly young. Certainly not as old as you, Saris.
Can I make an insight check on the guy who's nodding?
Absolutely.
I got an 8.
As far as you can tell, he seems agreed to everything.
If I see my roguish companion heading Mira towards either one of the would-be dissenters, then I would head towards the other one. Otherwise, I would head towards the older woman. You said she's kind of on the outside of the crowd. Just kind of like slowly sidle up behind her and try to convince her that she should say something. Just standing behind her kind of casually and say, in hushed tone, obviously, that's such a shame.
You come up to her and speak, and she looks over her shoulder at you, and her brow furrows. Who are you?
Who am I? You've never heard of me? And she winks her black eye. And I say, I'm a friend. My name's Eliza. I'm just passing through, but it seems like a terrible mess.
Oh, it's a terrible mess. But you and that eye, you're a terrible mess too. Best get out of here if you want to keep your skin. Don't get involved.
I've done nothing wrong. And by the look on your face, it seems that she hasn't either. And yet you say nothing.
If they want to burn a witch, they'll burn a witch. Better her than me. I've got these little uns here that I watch all the day. If there's not me watching them, who'll watch them? Better her than me. They'll burn a
Someone
witch.
else will take your place. If they care so little for her, then you'll just be next. The next crop fails. The next livestock gets lost. They'll come up with another reason and they'll come for you next.
Aye, well, I don't give him a reason. It's not
What
going to
reason
be me.
did she give?
Aye, not but being odd. She gathers her herbs in the woods. She does the bit of magic here and there, spooks people. I told her when she was young. I said, Trish, you leave that gift alone. You leave it well enough alone. Darn girl didn't listen to me. Let's see where it's got her. Now you'd best get out of here before one of them notices, or they'll have you burned as a witch too.
Well, there's already someone coming to vouch for her. Maybe two voices would be louder than one.
Nay, I speak not.
Coward.
And a long life it's earned me. Now be gone with you.
If she dies, you might as well. She gives her an angry look and turns to walk away.
She's already shepherding the children away from you.
And I head back towards the two that I left behind.
Myra, what are you doing?
Well, like I said, I'm meandering through the crowds, seeing if there's, anybody who is not really on board with what's going on. I'm also, being a little selfish and keeping an eye out for little shiny baubles. Because obviously they don't really need them in this situation. I might as well just make their load a little lighter. I'm here. I can do them that favor.
Roll me a sleight of hand.
Okay. Let's see. 19.
You move easily through the crowd, and their attention is entirely focused on either the woman who says nothing or the man with his arms crossed. You come away with 8 silver. These are not rich people.
Oh, but still, shiny is shiny.
Shiny is shiny.
I'm also going to start meandering around to the back of where Trish is. See if maybe I can work my way up there, possibly without being too noticeable. I mean, I know at this point in time it's not going to be a thing, but I want to put myself in a position that if an opportunity presents itself.
You make your way. So the man is standing adjacent to the burn pile, and you make your way kind of opposite him. So if he's at 12 o'clock, you're at 6 o'clock. And so everyone's eyes are on him, facing him. And you're on the other side. Yeah, still part of the crowd, but on the edges.
So I'm just going to set myself up that if need be, I'm ready to go.
Jessa, what are you doing?
Watching her companions kind of fan out into the crowd, some talking, some pickpocketing. She will kind of do the same, kind of meander through the crowd, but she gets much closer to the man with his arms crossed. She kind of not comes up next to him per se, but stands around him, maybe behind him a few steps. And she, looking sort of anxious, she looks to the girl on the stake and looks to the man and looks to the girl, and then she speaks up quite gingerly. She says, "Excuse me, sir. You seem to be the man in charge here. Could I ask what's happening?"
What? Who the nine hells are you? What's going on?
My name is Jessa. I'm just a passing traveler, but I was hoping to spend some coin here, but I see everyone is otherwise occupied with this, and she gestures to the pyre with the girl. I was just wondering what exactly is going on.
Travelers, eh? You and who else? It's not right for a woman to travel alone.
Oh, right. My companion is he was putting out our fire just a mile or so behind. But I came into town. I was a bit peckish. I wanted to see if you had a sweets shop here, but I'm not sure I see one.
Roll deception.
So,
10.
real quick, are there any animals nearby?
There's the odd cat, maybe a dog running about,
Any
probably
birds?
another chicken. There are no birds in the immediate vicinity. The crowd is too loud for that.
Well, I am going to approach the cat and gently let it approach me and
Yeah,
give it
let
a
me
pet.
resolve this real quick, and then we'll get to that.
Sure, yeah.
So, Jesse, you say that, and his eyes narrow. Sticks up his chin. I don't like women lying to me.
Oh,
You another of them? Are you another witch? You in cahoots? Come to curse the town?
no, of course not.
Then why
I'm
are
just
you lying?
I'm sorry. You're right. I'm afraid I'm with my I'm with another woman. But we were just passing through. I don't want to trouble you.
Well, you're more than enough trouble already. Be gone. We have our own things to tend to.
Sure. And she kind of backs away into the crowd.
The crowd is somewhat silenced by the exchange that happens. And over in the corner, as they're watching, the camera pans over the shoulder of a middle-aged woman with a handkerchief covering her hair. And just over her right shoulder, it zooms in on Saris kneeling down with a cat.
And I am going to cast Speak with Animals, but I'm not doing it like very obviously or visibly. It's just kind of a murmur and a petting, just to talk to the cat.
Roll sleight of hand with advantage.
Okay.
They're all distracted, but we'll see how obvious you are.
Not 20.
Nobody notices a thing. So you've cast Speak with Animals on this gray striped cat that's a little fat.
And I say, hello, what is your name?
Moi? Well, a conversationalist. Now, isn't that a nice change? I am Felix.
I am Saris. Nice to meet you, Felix.
Whatever, humans.
Oh, certainly. Half-elf, actually. See?
You have 2 legs. I don't really see the difference.
Oh, sometimes. But anyways, strange things have been going on, I see.
Yes. Although I can't say I've twined around your ankles before. New, are you?
Indeed. Very new. But just passing through.
Well.
Have you heard sing?
Back and stretches.
I
Don't
make
touch the
sure.
belly.
Yeah, right. I keep petting his head. I don't touch the belly. Say, have you seen anything weird going on with the crops or anything? You know anything about this witch business they keep talking about over there?
Crops? Witch? Darling, I'm a town cat.
Well, surely you hear gossip now and again.
Oh, of course, there's always a chicken muttering about something. But who can trust the chickens?
Oh. Anything interesting lately?
Well, apparently one of the roosters has gone off and gotten himself killed. 8 of the hens are inconsolable.
Where can I find these
Honestly,
hens?
I don't see the reason for it myself. I have my own lady friends. Chickens.
Yes. They go insane when they lose their heads.
Quite.
Yeah. You know anything about this lady? Has she been nice to you?
Oh, yes, she's a dear. She always comes back with this special tiny little grass, and it just makes me tinkle all over, and I run in circles, and, no, she's very nice. Oh, I think they're gonna kill her. That's a pity. But humans, who can understand them? Or half-elves, or whatever you all bipedals are.
Truly. Has anyone been mean to you? How about that guy over there nodding? He looks like a very odd bird, doesn't he?
And the cat, he kind of looks over and goes, Arnor? He wouldn't know a cat if it bit him. Man's far too busy to notice us kids. But no. I mean, you get the odd kid who likes to throw a rock or try and grab my tail, or occasionally they fall for the belly trick. I really get 'em then. But no, not Arnor.
Anyone acting weird? Kicking you?
I mean, I must say it's a little strange that you're talking to me. That's new. Hasn't happened before.
Yeah, I'm very in touch with nature. I understand many creatures.
That's weird.
Oh yeah, but a lot of things are weird.
It's time for my new nap. Bye, human. Elf. Whatever.
Bye, Felix.
He just strolls away and his little tail curls like in a question mark as he walks.
And I look around for any chickens nearby.
As you are looking around for a chicken, Arnor, the man with the reddish beard, speaks. He goes, all right. It's agreed. Trish, you've been found guilty of the crime of being a witch, of cursing our town, causing the crops to fail, of slaughtering our livestock. For your crimes, you're to be burned until dead. Do you have anything to say? The figure tied to the stake lifts her head. There are tears streaming down her face. Her nose is red. She's utterly distraught. Arnor, you know I didn't do it. You know I would never. Don't do this, please. Don't do it. I don't want to die. The man shakes his head. Bring the torches.
I'm looking at my friends to see, like eyebrow up, like, are we doing this? What's going on?
Let's see. I'm gonna say, Ceres is gonna hold up a finger and just like a signal of, hang on. Just kind of do it casually. And plus she's at the back of the crowd, so probably nobody's looking at her.
I was like, can I see her? I don't know where she is. I went back to where Jessa was standing before, kind of like where we branched off at. So I don't know if I would be able to see her from there. Who's come back though? Jessa and Mira?
I think Mira was still kind of on the back side of the pyre area.
Correct.
Yeah, Jessa just kind of materialized back into the crowd, away from the man, but still in the vicinity of the guy. So I don't know where that is in relation to where we started, but she's there.
I guess I'm trying to see if I can catch anyone's eyes then to see if this is a stand we're willing to make, because Eliza does not feel good about this.
Well, Sarasa is trying to signal you to say, wait a second. But I'm not sure if you see her. I mean,
where would
she's
she be in relation to me?
At the back of the crowd, like 30 feet away from the pyre.
The back would be my side though, or the other side, like where Mira is?
Oh, is it like a circle around the pyre?
Yeah, it's a circle. I guess that's not a question for you. That's a question for Taylor. What side was she on? Where'd she find the cat?
The cat was near where you guys came in, so she would be
pretty close to
close-ish,
me.
yeah.
So she's probably the only one I can see. So I just kind of like nod at her, like, all right. And I'm going to, when they start throwing fire, how far away? How deep is the crowd from the pyre?
They're all giving it about a 10-foot berth, and the crowd's about 10 feet deep. So if you're at the back of the crowd, you're maybe 20 feet from it.
Okay. Then I'll try to, if I see them approaching with the torches, I'm going to try to kind of skirt around the side and try to get within 10 feet of the pyre and prepare 3 prestidigitations to snuff out fires that they throw at them, because you can cast it 3 effects at once and snuff out a fire as big as a campfire. And I'll try to do it where someone can't see me if I can get within 10 feet and not necessarily be noticeable. I don't know if that's possible.
I want everybody to go ahead and roll initiative.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's probably a good idea.
And then just put it in the chat. Name and number.
Oh, I mistyped. The second one is correct.
So the men begin to move forward. Valetha, you are standing there. You're almost holding your breath, waiting to breathe out the words to the spell. And as one of them reaches forward, a howl splits the air. Then 2, then 3, then a 4th. More. The townspeople, the man pulls back. Everyone is looking around. And great wolves thunder into the middle of the town, broad daylight. Their eyes are black. They are foaming at the mouths. Something is wrong. People begin screaming. The women are snatching up children. They're running. Jessa.
So as people kind of turn away from the pyre, Jessa will immediately charge up to it, jump onto it and then try and start untying Trisha. Right, Trisha?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if you want me to roll for any of that.
You, I'm assuming, have a dagger or knife of some sort, and you begin cutting through the ropes. It'll take you your whole turn to get all the way through them, and probably most of your movement next round to help her down. She's looking at you in confusion. What's happening? Who are you? Oh God, don't let me die.
I'm trying. This is not our doing, but we're using it to our advantage. Just hold tight.
Okay. Saris, there's a wolf within about 10 feet of you.
Are they in a pack?
There are 4. The one that's within 10 feet of you is in kind of a line of 4 nearby, and you can see there are at least 2, maybe 3 more coming in on other streets. They've circled the square.
Okay. And is it coming right for me? Like,
It's not coming for you at the moment. It's going for, it looks like maybe a 10, 11-year-old boy. He's too big to be picked up and carried by a parent, and in his panic, he's stumbled and fallen in the dirt.
I stand over him and I cast Shillelagh, or Shillelagh, I believe it's pronounced. And I am going to smack the wolf.
Do it.
And I take my shield off my head. That's a 10.
10 will not hit. You swing, and the wolf catches it out of the periphery of its vision and kind of jumps to the side.
Right, and that's all I can do.
Mira.
All right, so so at this point, Trish has been taking care of my. I'm going to start looking around and seeing if anyone is in danger right in the vicinity, or if I'm in danger right in the vicinity.
You are definitely in danger.
Fantastic.
There is a wolf with these jet black eyes, and it is barreling towards you.
Oh, fun. All right. So I guess I have no choice but to defend myself at this point. So let's see here. Of course. You're retiring. Let's see. So 10. Yeah, 10.
It doesn't hit. The wolf is going to be charging you, and you kind of swing wildly. Or are you shooting?
Actually, I was just trying to like stab at it with my rapier, so keep it away from me.
You stab out towards it as it's coming, and the speed with which it's moving, it almost swerves in midair as it's galloping towards you.
Oh, fantastic.
Quick question.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. I recently cast Speak with Animals. Would I be able to understand what they're saying? It lasts for like 10 minutes.
Is Speak with Animals on one creature, or is that like a general area effect?
I believe it's a general thing.
Okay, is it a concentration spell?
No. It just lasts for 10 minutes.
Give me an insight roll. You got a lot going on. Let's see what you pick up.
I rolled a 10. Yeah.
You mostly just hear growling and snarling. You can't make out any particular words. If these beasts are saying something, it's unintelligible to you.
Right.
Valetha, you are probably nearest to kind of the back ring of things, and you hear a voice. Get Trish, come this way, come on. I have a place you can hide. And you see the older man that you saw earlier, and he's beckoning you furiously, come on, to go down an alleyway. And Valetha, it's your turn.
Okay. First of all, I'm going to insight check him really quick. And then I'll call out for, I guess I'll go try to help get Trish down if I feel like he's being honest. Oh, it's an 8. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I trust him. That's fine.
There's a lot going on. You barely have time to register the fact that he's talking to you.
Yeah, I call out to Saris and Mira and just say, over here, and I point to him, and then I go try to help as much as I can anyway, get Trish down.
Yeah, between you and Jessa working together, you're going to be able to get her off the woodpile. Let me see. That wolf misses. That wolf misses. That one's going to bite. You do hear a scream as a man who was holding a torch, his leg is just attached to this wolf, or I should say the wolf is attached to his leg. He's fallen to the ground and the wolf is just harrying at him. But it's farther away from you guys.
I laugh to myself. Ha.
Jessa, it's your turn.
Okay. So have I gotten Trisha down or out of her bonds?
Yes, you and Valetha are pretty well with Trish at the bottom of the burn pile. You can see maybe 20 or 30 feet away, kind of through the crowd, through the chaos, this man gesturing, come on.
Yeah, so I would definitely help Trisha down if she needs any help from the pyre, and then, wave on Valethia as well and try and move in that direction.
All right, between you and Valethia, pretty well double moving to get there. Trish is half sobbing, half screaming, almost laughing, just she's hysterical at this point in time. Selas. The wolf that you swung at and missed is growling at you. It tried to snap, but you were too quick for it.
I say, leave this child alone. What is wrong with you?
There's no response, only growling.
Oh, is it my turn?
It is your turn.
Oh, okay. I thought it was the wolf's turn and I was just allowed in. Okay. Let's see. And I was just called over by Jessa or Valetha. Saris tells the child to run and tries to protect it before, well, he or she, whatever, boy or girl. I believe you said boy.
Mm-hmm.
I try to protect the child to get to a safe place before I leave him to the wolves. Like a nearby house or something.
Yeah. The boy, with you interposing yourself between him and this wolf, scrambles to his feet, barely glancing at you, just bolts for the safety of a house.
All right. And
he gets pretty far.
Okay, good.
He's fast.
And I'm currently engaged with this wolf, technically.
You are.
I am going to disengage and run
Mhm.
after my friends.
Yeah, absolutely. You can do that, and with your movement, you can make it all the way over to them, Mira.
All right. So, is the wolf currently being aggressive with me?
Yes.
Okay. So, that being the case, I'm going to defend myself once again. Hopefully, I do better this time. Nat 20. Yes.
That will definitely hit.
All right. So, let's see. Let's see. 10 points piercing.
You badly wound this wolf. I mean, it is barely standing. And it turns away from you after you've cut into it with this rapier. You've sliced through some of the muscles on one of its front legs, and it just kind of limps away, clearly looking for an easier fight than you will offer it.
Okay.
You still have your movement.
Okay. So at that point, I'm going to go ahead and meet back up with the rest of the group.
Yes, you are all over kind of in this side alley. It is still chaos, utter chaos. There are screaming. There are men who've run into buildings and have come out with pitchforks, with axes, with a shovel, and they are just trying to protect themselves and to protect their town from these creatures. You all seem fairly unnoticed in your alleyway. And the older man goes, come. We can hide. I have a place. Come. Let's get away from here. They'll kill you all next. They'll think you're all witches. And you might be, but it won't be on my head.
I look to the other women like, are we doing this? Or are we just gonna leave? Yes? No?
Do we have any idea on how Trish is responding to his pleas to move?
She, having reached him, has grasped his hand and is just nodding.
So because she seems to trust him, I say we just go with them at the, I mean, we can always protect ourselves if something comes up.
Yeah, Sarah tosses her cloak over this young woman's shoulders and follows.
You guys begin to move out of the town. You go past the fields that don't have any plants sprouting from them yet. You reach the edge of the woods, not back the way you came, more to the east. And as you begin to fade into the trees, you can still hear the sounds, the howls, the barking of these wolves, causing chaos in the village. And that's where we're going to take a break. So, back in 5 minutes.
Oh, real quick, do I see any chickens along the way?
Oh, God.
There's a chicken, but you would have to stop running and you would fall behind the group to talk to it.
We don't care about the rooster, okay?
Couldn't I pick up the chicken and take it with me?
The chicken does not want to be picked up.
All right. Have a nice day.
All right, 5 minutes. we've got a few people watching. Apparently, I did something wrong when setting up the stream, and there is no live chat option. I don't know how I managed that. I'm still trying to figure out YouTube and Google and how they play together. According to my screen, it says live chat is enabled, so I don't know, technology. But if you're watching, thanks, glad you're here. Sorry I can't see you and chat with you in real time. All right. Everybody stretched, ready, got a fresh drink in your hand. Pulled out your good dice, Katie.
Yeah, my first 2 rolls so far were a 2 and a 3, so let's just hope that it goes up from there only.
All right, let's get back to it. The 4 of you are kind of following as this this older man, perhaps late middle-aged, is leading you into the woods. Trish is still clutching onto his hand, clearly glad to see a familiar, friendly face after having just faced her death. He leads you off, the path splits, and he leads you off to the left. You think you can hear some water in the distance, maybe a little stream or something. And there's a small cabin. Looks like it might just have one room sitting there. And he turns to Trish and goes, "Well, I've always liked this place. It's good to be out of the way sometimes. You know how they are. You're welcome to it for now, Trish. They won't get you here. They won't find you. And the rest of you too. Come inside. It's simple, but I've got food and water and maybe a bit of ale." And he goes and opens the door and leads you into this small building.
I'm going to stop before entering the door and say, actually, I have one question for you. To the old man.
Aye?
Those wolves. That was awfully opportune.
Nasty creatures. Something wrong with their eyes. Your eye. There's something wrong with your eye, but they said the both. Sure it wasn't your doing.
Certainly not ours. I suspected it was yours.
Me? Wolves? You're daft. Come inside anyhow.
And I'm going to try one more insight check, and then if this whole thing just starts to make sense to her, then that's great, because the wolves were a little too opportune. After that, she's just going to trust him, if that's fine.
Could I help with the insight check?
No.
No.
Yeah, I don't think you can really assist with that. That's a 9, so she nods and walks in. What a kind old man.
As far as you can tell. Seems nice enough. He was worried about his friend. And seems to have been able to rescue her. Whether or not anybody noticed is another question. You come inside and he sits Trish down in one of the 2 chairs. There's a long wooden bench against another wall. But he sits Trish down in the chair and kind of pats her on the shoulder. All right. Cup of tea's what you need. I'll put the kettle on. Maybe find you something a bit stronger for now, if I can. He begins puttering about, opening a cupboard or 2, and returns with a kind of a clay crock, the little lid on it. Pulls it off. Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good. And he'll pour. He's got 2 cups and 2 bowls. He kind of shrugs his. My wife and I used to come out here. We wanted to get away. Afraid I don't have quite enough cups for all of you. A couple of you have to share. But the bowls will work too.
I'm all right, thank you.
He pours it out, and it's got a nice froth at the top.
Saris asks, you mind if I smoke?
Not at all.
I turn around and light my pipe with a produced flame instead of a match, but it almost looks like it might be a match.
He eyes you suspiciously. And mutters under his breath. So natural.
I'm as natural as it gets, honey.
I'll see if I can't be about finding us maybe a few turnips. I might have some potatoes out in the back. But you just make yourselves at home. And he walks out the door and leaves the four of you and Trish, who is still visibly shaken, but seems to have calmed down.
I'm going to turn to Trish. And so why would they assume that you were the one that was causing all this?
And she looks at the cup in front of her and takes a drink. Well, I'm not married. It's kind of odd. They always thought that was a bit strange. And I do go out to the woods and I find the plants, and I've got a bit of a touch for healing, and they've always thought that was odd too. And then when some of the goats turned up missing, and then the crops went bad, and we started seeing more wolves. Never like that though. Never in daylight, broad daylight. Oh gods. I don't think I did it. You don't think maybe I'm a witch and I don't know it?
I doubt it. I'm going to turn to the rest of the ladies. Ladies, who here is married? Okay, we're not weird. Let's see. Who here knows a thing or two about healing? Okay, so no, you're not weird. Who plays with animals? Look at the druid.
Yeah, point at Sarah.
Those are very interesting creatures. They have a lot of interesting things to say.
So
That cat was very pleasant.
right there. You're not weird. You're just misunderstood by the people who are sticks in the mud.
Begging your pardon, miss, but you all seem a bit odd.
Thank you. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Thanks for saving me, I suppose. I mean, really do. I thank you. Here, and she offers you the cup, Mira, as you're standing right there.
Oh, absolutely. And accepts the cup and takes a small sip and hands it back, because I like to stay on my game and not really, partake in alcohol.
It's good. It's herby.
Okay.
It's a good beer. Or ale, or whichever it is. I apologize to the aficionados in the crowd. I don't know the difference.
That wouldn't be me.
Delisa kind of pats her on the shoulder and says, "Where I come from, you and we are actually quite normal. You might consider leaving this place. It's really only a matter of time before they come for you again. They'll think that you called these wolves."
I can't stay, but where would I go?
Do you like the ocean?
I've never been to the ocean.
Would you like to?
I mean, I suppose it could be fun. Is it big?
Some are larger and some are smaller. And I kind of look towards everyone else. What do you think, everyone?
But
We can
they're
at least
wet.
steer out of this place.
Oh,
They are wet.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Let's get her out of here if she's willing to go.
Yeah, Justin nods. Of course, you'd be more than welcome.
Okay. I think I'd like that.
My dear, has anything else happened before the goats? Any newcomers or other signs? Anything not out of the ordinary?
I mean, not bef- not be- not be- not 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 oh. If you took a drink, make a con save. As you watch in front of you, Rachel's, or not, you're saying Rachel, Trish, I was like, thinking about, I didn't see Rachel in the chat. Trish's face goes pale and then is tinted a bit green. And she is still sitting in the chair, but seems to almost lose her ability to sit still. You can see her wavering. DC 13.
Nope, I got a 9.
Can I check to see if she's been poisoned? I mean, it kind of seems obvious, but...
Yeah, please go ahead, roll a medicine check or something.
Okay.
Saris looks out the window for the old man.
Saris, roll perception.
Yeah, 8 for me. I'm getting new dice.
Natural 1!
Nope. What did everybody get in their con saves? I saw Yvonne, you failed.
I did.
I didn't actually take any drinks.
Yeah, I
Said in the
didn't drink
chat,
it.
you drink it, but you're no expert.
Oh, I thought you meant, okay. I thought you, because you were talking about, I'm sorry for aficionados. And then I thought you were saying, all right, who drinks the beer? Like, who's going to make fun of you? That's why I was like, I drink beer, but I'm not like an expert at it. I'm sorry.
See, at first I
guess-
thought you meant outside game as well, and then I was like, she's probably asking about in the games.
I apologize. That was unclear.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, no, I trust the old man now, but I'm still not entirely convinced that Trish isn't actually doing something foul. But I planned on questioning her, and on the way maybe, and then she got sick. But I didn't actually intend to drink the beer just because I was afraid that they might have followed us, and I didn't want to be drinking and have that affect me if I'm having to defend myself. So that was more like, yeah, I drink beer on occasion, but I don't know the difference necessarily between beer and ale. Sorry.
No, that's fine. Valeda, you've been suspicious from the beginning. So you don't drink. Saris took a drink. Mira took a drink. Jessa?
I didn't take a drink. At the mention of like ale, it's just like, ew.
Well, and for myself, I was just very politely, I took a sip. So,
Sip still
but
counts.
it was enough.
Yeah, Saris is more of a wine drinker.
All right. So, Mira, not long after you notice Trish becoming pale and slightly greenish, you begin to feel ill as well. You take the poisoned condition. And who has the highest passive perception?
Mine's a 15.
Mine's a 10.
Yeah, mine's 13. I'm sure that 15's the highest.
All right. Saris, you look out the window and you didn't see anything. But as you turn back towards Trish and now toward Mira, you hear something. Words. A song? You can't quite be sure. It's coming from outside.
I open the door and peer out.
As Saris wordlessly walks over to the door and opens it, you all hear now the low chant of a man's voice.
That bastard, Alexa says under breath.
We don't see him, though, or?
You can't see anything from the front door.
I look back to my companions. I think we found the witch.
I should have known. Are there any windows?
There was one, but it was facing westward, and Saris didn't see anything out of it.
Okay. Well, now's as good a time as any. I was ready for a fight today anyway. And I go to walk out the door and see if I can see him.
The chanting, as you come around the door, seems to be coming from the back of the house, from around behind it.
I look back and tell everyone, I hope you're behind me. And I try to like sneak around the side, and as soon as I see him, my intent will be to cast Hold Person. We'll see if I'm able to do that.
Yeah, I'm right behind her.
As you come around the back of the house, directly kind of against the back wall, this man is standing there, arms up. He's in the midst of a circle. It appears to be drawn in some sort of a powder that's almost green in color. He's standing there, and Valetha, just as you get ready to cast Hold Person, he freezes. And his head goes down and then up. And as you watch, he begins to shift and contort, and his shoulder grows until it's twice the size of normal, and then his other one, and then his chest and his legs, until he is this hulking abomination of a man. His head is the last thing to change, and it goes from the face of a man to the face of a monster. His eyes are black with tiny yellow glowing spots where the pupils should be. Roll initiative. And Yvonne, the poison condition means you have disadvantage on all fun things like attacks and ability checks.
Yeah, I just looked that up, so I wrote that down. So fun.
The most fun. Valetha, you were expecting something, and you were the first to react.
So she rounds the corner, she just shakes her head, and she starts singing, I put a spell on you, and now you're mine. And I cast Dissonant Whispers. And so he has to make a wisdom saving throw. DC 13. You can't stop the things I do. I lie. You're muted.
Fine, that was a really good evil laugh, too. Your tricks will not work, witch. I will sacrifice you. All of you. You will not be missed. And my God will reward me.
Which of my friends can I see?
I think Saris was maybe the closest behind you, but Jessa was right next to her.
I'll turn to Jessa and say, let's show him what a witch can do and inspire you. So you have a d6 you can add to an attack roll, a saving throw, or ability check, I think.
Jessa, it is your turn.
Okay, so as Jessa rounds the bend and catches up to Valethia and sees this horrific transformation going on, she will immediately go to cast Witch Bolt at the abomination.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 17 to hit.
It hits into him and is just almost absorbed across his chest.
Okay. And so it basically doesn't attach to him at all, like the way Witch Bolt would.
Nope.
It just dissipates. Cool. Okay. Yeah.
Melder the Twisted looks at you all and moves forward with blinding speed. As he's moving, he's going to shoot first at Valetha and then at Jessa. He puts his hands out, and these glowing green bolts, one at each of you, come flying. 13 to hit Valetha. Oh, Jessa, I'm sorry, that's a natural 20.
My AC is a 14, so his missed me.
Okay. Jessa, you are going to take... Oh boy. Hang on, math. You're going to take 23 points of force damage. As this slams into you. And then, coming up to the pair of you, because you were both up at the front, he's going to rip into you with his claws. I believe a 19 will hit on you, Valetha.
Oh yeah, just barely. No, it definitely hits.
Yeah, and Jessa, your AC is...
It's 12.
Okay, the second one actually does hit you as well. So you are reeling backwards from this blast, and then with his claws, you notice as it hits you and it rakes across, they're glowing with green fire. and you are each going to take. Actually, sorry, it's Valetha, you will take 9 damage, and Jessa, you will take 8 fire damage.
Quick question. Did we start out with like max hit points for 3rd level, or like were we rolling? And no, right?
Nope.
Rolling.
Regular
Okay.
3rd. Well, you could take average if you wanted. So if you rolled and rolled poorly, you can adjust that to average.
I rolled okay. Just sorcerer hit points.
Yeah, sorcerers are a little squishy.
A little bit. Okay.
I mean, if you're so conscious after that, you're doing better than I thought you would be, so.
To be honest, yes. So next up, Saris.
Hey, are any of you down?
No, no one's down, but I think she looks pretty tough.
No, Jess is down. I mean, I rolled. I had 8 hit points. I don't know if that's super low for 3rd level sorcerer, but
Did you say
the first
8
hit
or 18?
Huh?
Did you say 8 or 18?
18.
Okay. I thought you said 8, and I was going to say that's really low.
No, that's low. But yeah, you hit me with 23 first, and I don't even remember the second one. But yeah.
All right. So Jessa is down. Saris.
Okay. I am gonna go into the dodge action, and as a bonus action, I am going to cast Healing Word on Jessa.
Okay.
As a 2nd level spell, and that is 2d4 plus 5. If you want to roll it, or do you want me to roll it?
You can roll it. It's your spell.
Okay. Well, it's your body, though. Okay. That is 8. Are you alive?
Yeah, I mean, I dropped to 0, and now I'm back to 8. So
exactly. Yeah, that's how it works in 5e. You don't go into negative hit points.
Yeah.
Right. And I am in the dodge action right now to give him a disadvantage against me.
Mira.
All right, so I was still inside, just with Trish at the moment. So guess I'll head outside.
You can hear this
Yeah.
very clearly.
So not engaged. Possible I can sneak.
Yeah, if you wanted to while he was engaged, you could definitely try and stealth around.
Okay.
You are at disadvantage because you're poisoned.
Got him. Okay, so there's that one. And then, so 13.
You're moving around, but the sun is still high in the sky, and your blade glints, and you feel more than see his head turn towards you.
Ah, son of a biscuit. Okay. But I'm not in range to do any type of attack at this point, though.
You could double move to get into melee, but you wouldn't have an attack left, I don't think.
Right. Okay. So since I'm not in range, I'm going to throw a magic missile at him.
Okay.
So disadvantage for that as well?
Yes.
Oh, so, okay. So, 8. So probably not.
Yeah, an 8 will not hit him.
No. Okay. I give him my best shot.
Well, if you cast Magic Missile, Magic Missile automatically hits.
Does it?
Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
Oh, Magic Missile. Right.
Let's see.
automatically hits. Yeah,
I'm
it's just,
thinking Witch Bolt.
yeah, no. You roll the damage. It's a D4 plus 1 per missile, I
Plus
think.
1. Okay.
Yeah, and it's 3 missiles, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cast at a first level.
Get out of there. So the 1. Okay. Not cooperative. 7 points.
Okay. So your missiles arc through the air. What do they look like?
Well, you know, they're not your typical standard missiles. They would be something, you know, sneaky like myself. You know, at first you don't really see them, then all of a sudden, right in the face. 3 times. And I know it doesn't do a whole lot of damage, but, you know, you got to do something.
Yeah, it seems to catch him off guard. He wasn't expecting that. Valetha, it's your turn.
So, thinking better of her initial approach, she kind of like tries to grin back at him as if she's unaffected and continues, "Your wretched little life is all but cursed because of all the witches working. I'm the worst." And she casts Cloud of Daggers.
All right. Read me Cloud of Daggers. What do we do?
Fill the air with spinning daggers in a cube 5 foot on each side, centered on a point you choose within range. He takes 44 slashing damage when he enters it on the for the first time on a turn, and then starts his turn there. So the way I read that is that he takes it on my turn, and then when his turn starts, he takes it again. And then if he doesn't move out of it, he would again on his next turn. But if he moves out, then he moves fine.
Makes good sense.
Okay. And there's no attack. It's just 44. So it's a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. He takes 11 points of damage.
All right. Jessa, you felt yourself get hit and fall to the floor, and then the next thing you know, you're coming to consciousness. You're on the ground. You can see Valetha's boots just to your left, and the twisted, gnarled feet is maybe the wrong word of this creature in front of you.
Yeah, so Jessa kind of slowly gets to her feet, still sort of off balance, but she looks around at her companions. And did she see Mira's magic missile hit?
Mm-mm.
No. Okay, so she and would she have seen Valethia's attack as well, or she's coming around?
You would have seen that, I think.
Did that seem to do anything at all?
It did.
Okay.
Yeah, the daggers are persistent. You can actually all see a swirling cloud of daggers in his space, basically.
Okay, so she is gonna get up and she's gonna try a scorching ray, and she extends her hand and points it at him, and that would be a 10.
You put your hand out, and in your weakened, bloodied state, your hand is shaking. And it even as close as he is, it somehow goes to the side. It almost seems to split around him. You can't control the magic right now. So Melder the Twisted is in front of Valetha and Jessa. And he saw Valetha drop, thought he'd killed her, and then come back. And he reaches out and he grabs for you. I need you to make an opposed grapple check. You can make athletics or acrobatics.
Okay.
Jessa. Sorry, Jessa, not Valetha.
Yeah. Also, he takes 13 more points of damage because he started his turn.
Right. Are these magical daggers?
It's a spell, so they're, yeah. I mean, I guess it doesn't. Fill the air with spinning daggers. I would assume that they would be magical because it's a spell.
Yeah,
I don't think that it materializes physical daggers. I don't know. I guess that's up to you.
They auto hit, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they auto hit. I think that's more for like damage resistance or anything else.
I'm sorry, what did you want me to roll?
You can roll athletics or acrobatics. You're going to be making an opposed grapple check. He's going to try and grab onto you.
Great. Nat 20. Finally.
Wow. So what's your total?
Oh, I don't know. 22. Acrobatics.
So you feel his claws grab onto you, and somehow you manage to wriggle away, but only barely. He actually rips through part of your armor on your arm, where your shoulder is. And Melder is also going to reach his arm up and bring it back down, and a green flame whip appears. He's backing out now of this cloud of daggers, and he's going to go out and strike at you, Valetha, having cast that. So that's going to be a 21 to hit on you. You're going to take 10.
How many cutting words of damage?
Okay. So it's 18 total.
And I rolled a 4, so I take 14 points of damage.
And I need you to make a DC 15 strength saving throw.
Well, this should be good. DC 14?
15.
14. I do not. I do not pass.
You are thrown to your feet by the force of this blow, and the green fire wraps around your ankle and begins pulling you towards him. Saris, it's your turn.
I am going to cast Entangle on this creature.
Okay.
And in a 20-foot square, let's see, it's going to be a strength saving throw or be restrained until the spell ends. It is a concentration spell.
Does Entangle know the difference between friend and foe? I don't think it does.
It does not, but I would try to aim it so it doesn't hit my friends.
Okay. So is the wording in anything in a 20-foot square?
I
can look at
turn
that
into
too.
difficult terrain. A creature in the area. Yeah, pretty much any creature in the area.
Okay. So, Valetha, you're being pulled forwards, and these vines all of a sudden spring up. If you want, you can make a strength saving throw to try and get out of them, or you can allow them to hold you still.
I am totally going to allow them to hold me still. And also, I lost concentration on the cloud of daggers because of the damage I took. I didn't pass my constitution check or concentration check. So the daggers have disappeared, but I am totally allowing those to hold me in place.
These vines shoot up, and they try and creep up around Melder the Twisted's legs, reaching up to his waist and to his ribs, and he just twists briefly, and they snap, and he does not seem to be held by them.
Okay. Well, that's my action, and well, I can't do anything else as a bonus action because I can only cast one spell at a time. Cyrus is going to stand there astonished.
Mira.
Yes. So at this point, I am going to use my short bow and attack. Let's see. It's pretty good for disadvantage. Let's see. 19.
A 19 will hit. Your arrow sinks into him on the right thigh.
Nice. 9 points piercing.
He looks down, snaps it off.
Snap it off all you want. It's still gonna hurt you.
And he looks at you, who shot the arrow, and you feel this wave of energy. And he's got his whip in one hand, and he's still trying to pull Valetha, but with his other hand, he just shoves, and this almost like face-shaped fire comes screaming towards you. You need to make a dexterity save.
Yeah, 7.
So you're going to take 20 fire damage as it catches you full on. You weren't expecting him to react this way.
And I'm down.
Valetha.
Well, I'm super glad I cutting words the damage because I have 1 hit point. So I'm going to continue my song, if slightly pained, and cast a 2nd level Cure Wounds on myself. I guess I put a spell on me. And maybe we should leave. I heal 15. Yeah. 12. Yeah, 15. And that's it for my turn. Yeah, I don't think I can. Oh no, the spell's gone. Just kidding. Or I don't know if has it been your turn? Did you release the terrain stuff, Ferris?
Is Entangle still on?
I probably would have let that go after I realized it failed.
Oh, I see you said it in the chat too. Does that count? Is it gone, or do we have to wait for our next turn for it?
No, it's gone.
Okay, then yeah, I'm gonna stand up. And is there like a tree nearby I can get behind, or if the closest thing is around the side of the building, then just try to get out of line of sight?
You could get around the building. He'd pulled you pretty close to him, but you are not quite in melee range, so you won't take an attack of opportunity.
Okay. Yeah, then 15 feet to stand up and then move 15 feet away, try to get behind or around the side of the building until I have a chance to do something else again.
Jessa.
So, seeing Valathia fall back, and suddenly eyeing the arrow shaft in this guy's leg, Jessa will. Is she in melee range, or is she?
He moved about 15 feet back, so you'd have to move towards him.
Okay, she doesn't want to. She's gonna step back even and pull out her crossbow, and she's going to fire at his face. That's a 14 to hit.
It goes wide.
You do still have a d6 that you can add to your attack roll, but probably before she tells you it misses. Just keep that in mind.
Yeah, I keep forgetting about that.
Melder the Twisted watches Valetha retreat and laughs again. You run. You cannot defeat my power. My god is more powerful than you will ever be. A god of the beyond, of the unders, of the dark corners, of the twisted things. It's power beyond what you can know, unless you join. Join me.
Is he like stopping his attack to wait for our response?
He's waiting.
Delightha doesn't answer.
Well, I can't exactly answer, so it's nothing from me.
Saris looks to this monster and says, "Every sapling grows into a tree and eventually falls even to the greatest of lightning strikes. If I must die here fighting you, then so it shall be. But I will not join a god of darkness over my own. Die, you abomination."
Saris, it's as you say that, what do you do?
Real question. Can I do a spell and then wild shape if the spell is a bonus action? Does that count as 2 spells at once?
I think Wild Shape is casting a spell. I don't know. I don't really play druids very often. Sure, go ahead.
All right. I am going to cast Healing Word as a 2nd level slot on my fallen friend. Roll that. That is 9.
Sweet, thank you.
And then I am going to wild shape into a brown bear.
All right.
And let out a big roar. I don't know. Can I roll an intimidation check?
No.
That's probably, yeah, that's a little too funny.
He
Okay.
chuckles. Pitiful tricks. Mira, you are on the ground and you feel the life beginning to surge back into you.
See, I'm going to slowly pull myself up and, take a step back just to get out of his line of sight just for a few moments and do nothing else at this moment because, I'm still in shock that I've come back, off the ground when I thought I was ebbing away. But I also want to, get my bow ready again. So I'll have it at the ready.
Yeah, you can count that as a readied action, and
Okay.
just hold that in your mind, and whenever something happens that triggers it, or when you choose to trigger it before your next turn, just let me know and you can take a shot.
Will do.
Valetha, it's your turn.
So if I pop my head around the corner, I see him. Where exactly is he in relation to like the back of the cabin? How far away is he?
He's probably 20 feet from the back.
Okay. Then I'm gonna give it one more go with the dissonant whispers. I put a spell on you, and now be gone. My power fell over you, and it was strong. 13 DC. Listen to
You poke your head around and you do that, and you see him almost just wave his hand like he's batting aside your spell before it even reaches him.
The bastard has counterspell. She turns to Jessa and says, "It might be best to leave." And peeks back, like goes back around to hide, or if she can get further away where they're not together and go hide behind like a tree, like not physically hide, but stand behind it, because I can't hide as a bonus action. Then, so that we're not grouped together, then I would do that if I see something within 30 feet.
You could do that. You could move away from where the cabin is out into the slightly more wooded area.
Yeah, so whatever the closest tree would be then, and just pull out my short bow, getting ready for next turn with my bonus action.
Jessa, you've just seen Valetha say, "We should go," and disappear into the woods.
Yeah, so
I am now a bear.
And
Huh?
Saris is a bear.
Right. Well, it doesn't seem like Saris is about to leave. So, and when Valethia speaks to her, Jessa is kind of like, yeah, it would be great to leave. But she's like, I don't think he's going to let us, unfortunately. And she continues backing away. She just takes like a 5-foot step back and fires her crossbow again. And I'm going to use the D6 this time. Oh my god.
You have 10 minutes game time to use it, so if it's a bad enough roll, don't use it.
Yeah, so that's a 7 total, but I'm going to use Tides of Chaos to gain advantage
Okay.
on this attack. Oh my god. And that's a 2. Okay. Never mind.
So, Jessa, you shoot, and it's almost as if there's a force surrounding this creature. Your arrow should have gone straighter than that, or maybe you're still shaking from your brush with death, and it just whizzes past.
At the, I'd like to shoot my bow now if I can, right before he, because I believe it's his action next.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. 11. So no go.
No go. Another shot goes wide.
Okay.
Melder the Twisted. For those of you watching from your hiding places or as a bear, lifts off the ground and his feet begin to hover. And he flies at the bear. Unbelievable speed. What's your bear's AC?
It's 11.
Okay, so as he's coming, you've seen this before. 2 green bolts come for you. And then he comes with the claws. You're going to take 12 force damage from or sorry, 24 force damage from the bolts total. Are you still in bear form?
I am still in bear form, yes.
All right. The claw that hits you is going to do another 17 damage as it glows green with flame and rakes across the fur of the bear. Are you still a bear?
I am not a bear anymore, and I am unconscious.
And what?
I am unconscious.
Seeing as he was already attacking you, he's going to finish and rake with the second claw, which was a natural 20. So you will take 2 failed death saves for taking damage after you were already down to 0.
Well, I'll be with my god now.
Saris, make a death save.
Eight. I am with my god now.
You are indeed. You all watch Valetha from your spot at the edge of the woods as Saris, as this great bear is charged by Melder the Twisted. First the fire, then the claws, and as the second one rakes across, it seems to just catch her in the chest, and there's no more movement.
Well,
Mira.
that
Mira.
changes things. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, sorry, Mira.
All right,
You
I'm
saw
gonna
this
try.
too.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to shoot at him again with the short bow. Oh, come on. That's pitiful. No, absolutely not. It went, pew.
Whether it's your weakness from the poison or something about this creature, or perhaps your hands shaking from fear, you can't seem to keep your arrows flying straight. Valetha, another arrow has just gone wide.
You said he was surrounded by a circle of powder?
When he transformed, he was.
Is it gone or is it still there?
It's still there.
Would I know whether or not, like, would I be familiar enough with, like, a ritual? Because bards are ritual casters, or can be. Would I be familiar enough with the ritual to know if messing that up would somehow, like, sever the link he's got going right now that's allowing him to do this?
Roll an Arcana check. Let's see what you know.
Let this be the first good roll I make all day. That would be really great. 12.
You think that whatever's happened, you can't undo.
I'm just going to yell out to my friend, this isn't winnable. We need to leave. And I'm going to take a shot at him, but then I'm going to run another 30 feet. So I've got my short bow out. Oh my god. That is a total of 10. Why? Yep.
I thought maybe you'd rolled a natural 20.
No. We can't hit anything. And I can't add my own inspiration to my own attacks yet. So I shoot, it misses, and I move another 30 feet back. I'm not necessarily like booking it to leave them behind yet, but I am not gonna die here.
You are moving back, and you see a almost bent in half Trish coming out of the house. What's going on? I don't feel well. What is that? What's happening? Jessa, you hear her voice
go ahead,
behind
sorry.
you, and it's your turn.
So Jessa hears Valathia's plea again that we need to fall back and run. And then she hears Trisha meekly just whining and hobbling out of the cabin, and she sees Ceres as a bear strewn across the floor, and Mira is not down anymore, right? She just fired a bow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so she's feeling like she's feeling much more like Valathia is, and she's going to fire another crossbow bolt. .23.
It sinks into him. This time catching him almost in the center of the chest.
Okay, let's see. 4 damage. But she, as she does that, she follows Valathia's leave and moves back her full movement.
You move back 30 feet. Melder, the Twisted, hovering over Ceres's body, comes for the nearest target, which is Mira. And he's going to follow his same pattern again. This time, though, Mira, you're expecting it. You kind of sidestep out of the way of one of the blasts of green energy. The other one catches you full in the chest for 12 force damage.
And down again. I'm a yo-yo. Up, down, up, down.
And as you fall on the floor, he rakes a claw across you, catching an artery. It's 2 failed death saves. And it's your turn. Roll your death save.
I got a 1.
Wow.
The only one I actually rolled tonight. That blows. Oh well.
The glowing, flaming claw comes across you, and it catches your artery, and then a second one pierces your heart. You die within seconds. Valetha.
I'm assuming I could still see that happen. I'm only like 60 feet away.
Absolutely. You and Jessa and poor Trish can all see this.
Yeah, Trish is on her own. Chaotic neutral, man. I look at Jessa and I'm like, let's get out of here while we still can. And I dash 60 feet, not back towards the town. I guess just making a beeline away. I'll brave the woods at this point.
Jessa.
So Jessa, seeing Mira basically torn to pieces, she grits her teeth and looks down at Ceres again, and she's still down. and she looks towards Trisha and she says, "Run!" and shoots one more crossbow bolt into, and that's a nat 20.
Excellent.
Finally.
Just as I was about to run away. Oh, so how do you do crits? Is it
Double your dice.
Sorry?
Roll double your dice.
Okay, so 18 damage.
An arrow fired true even as you are fleeing. And I need Valetha to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, that jerk. Okay. I switched out. I have a whole new bag of dice here that I'm going to roll from. Bards are not proficient in wisdom saves. And I rolled a total of 10.
You're fleeing, and then you stop mid-stride, and you cannot move.
She's angry.
Let's see. Valetha, it is your turn. Do you get, I'm sorry, a save at the end of your turn for hold person?
Yeah, let's see here. At the end of each of its turns, the target can make another wisdom saving throw.
You can do nothing but make another wisdom save.
All right. Let's see. Come on. 5.
You struggle mentally, willing yourself to be free, to no effect.
She's angry.
Jessa, it's your turn. Are you running the same direction as Valetha?
Yeah, she was basically just backing up towards the way Valetha is going. She's gonna take her move, just the 30 feet. Does she reach Valetha yet?
You can reach Valetha in that. I'm gonna say you have to double move because Valetha was sprinting last. Well, hang on, I've lost my movement. No, you can reach her this turn.
Okay. Can I do anything about her? The hold that's on her. Can I like make an assist or anything?
You don't think so.
Okay.
Your knowledge of spellcasting, you can recognize this spell. You know that if perhaps the monster loses his ability to concentrate on it, then it might free her, but you can't help her yourself.
Okay, no problem. So yeah, she is going to recognize that she is, that Valetha is held by this creature, and she's going to stand over her, or in front of her, and fire another crossbow bolt into this thing. 18?
An 18 catches him square in the bicep.
That's 5 damage.
He almost flicks the arrow shaft away, and it breaks off. And he just laughs. You fools. And as you watch Jessa, you there with Valetha, you can hear his words booming in your head. You can't see what's happening because your back was to him, but Jessa, you see it. You see the hand swirling, and you see the fireball coming. Jessa, you get a dex save. Valetha, you automatically fail.
I'm sure there's a straight shot through the trees too. He planned this place so perfectly. Yeah, this will be where I die then, I'm sure.
She got an 18.
I think that will be enough. That you will take half damage, which will be 15. Valetha, you take 31.
Unconscious.
Yep, we're all down.
Trish is huddled against the wall, hysterical and in tears. The creature goes over to her. Join me, and you need not die like the rest. And that's where we end it.
He's a jerk.
This was not what I expected.
No, not at all.
I think it's perfect for Halloween though. Like, I really honestly, I don't even know if we would have necessarily had a chance without missing every single shot.
You would have had a lot more of a chance, for sure.
And if I hadn't rolled, under a 10 on every single insight check, because I was ready to like split. Like if she started to actually be suspicious, because one of my character traits for Valetha is that she expects danger around every corner, so that's why she's so suspicious. And if she had gotten like an icky feeling from him at any point, I'd have been like, no, we're leaving. He's got her. Let's get away from this town. But no, he's so charming and she's so stupid.
Yeah, I was expecting to fight the town. Jeez.
Mm-hmm.
I was ready to put out the fire to make it rain. I did an entangle spell.
Or at least go back and get the wolves. Anything.
I was like, oh, wolves. Well, apparently he summoned wolves, and I guess she's like his witch, and he's like a werewolf or something, and they work together, and then now the town's gonna chase us down. Nope. That was great. That was great, though. I loved it. I'm not technically dead, right? So conscious.
Not technically. It is safe to say that within minutes you will be.
Yeah.
For all intents and purposes, you are.
Yeah,
I rolled a nat 20 just now.
that was nice. I rolled death saving throws just for the hoot of it, and I rolled 2 3s, so she died pretty quickly.
I just rolled another nat 20.
You're not only you
I'm
actually
alive.
come to
Now you roll
consciousness.
them.
Yeah,
I'm alive, and now a wolf comes and bites my face off. Probably.
yeah,
Something
or
like
whatever
that.
he is.
All right. Well,
Or it
thanks
has
to
the
the
girl.
people.
Yeah.
Thanks to the people who watched. This was the extended edition of Ladies Week, which was an initiative that was in the Absolute Tabletop Gaming Group last week to raise awareness for domestic abuse victims. October is Domestic Abuse Awareness Month, and victims across the world tend to be women. And so my goal was to have some amazingly awesome badass women playing games. I have only played really with Katie before. I played with Rachel last night for the first time. It has been excellent to play with all of you. If there's anything else you want to say as you sign out, we'll do that.
Well, I think we definitely got the representation of domestic abuse. This guy kicked all our asses.
Oh God. This is a D&D manifestation of that. My only words are it was great, it was a ton of fun, and we should play more girl games. I like it. I think it's good.
My thought is, don't drink the beer.
That's
That's all I gotta say.
Never drink a drink that you didn't see made or poured.
For real.
Exactly.
We should have all known better.
Oh, Valetha did know better. She expects danger around every corner. She didn't know better. She assumed better.
All
Yes,
right. Thank you guys so much for playing.